Yes. Yeah, back here with a lesson. In last class we are discussing the last unit on especially on Windows Phone 7. Right. So we have discussed that. Today agenda of a class is first we're going to discuss the lesson. We'll complete that Windows Phone 7 using an .NET framework, that is Visual Studio Express stand. How we can develop an app, Windows Phone 7 for that, using that how the phone SDK of the things can be downloaded, package can be downloaded, and how it can be done. First we'll see that. Later on we'll discuss about the synapses, what you have sent. So what are the titles you have given and all this. I will see how many of you have given and how whether the titles, how it will be suitable or not. What is the agenda on behind that particular thing, how you're developing the app and all. Coming to the next thing, the internal marks, which has already it has been connected, and I will share you that what are marks you have got in a mobile application development. So that is a thing we'll discuss, and in today's particular class, we'll start with now the PPT. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Right. In our last class, we had discussed the things like this. 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah, so tills we have discussed, and coming to the next thing, how the push notifications of XML format will be updated. The shell tell, that also we have discussed, and coming to next, the project. So I will go, which you can see clearly. Yeah. Getting the tools you need, Windows Phone 7 project. So how you can do in a project. So developing a software for Windows Phone 7, you need a machine running Windows. First Windows should be there, either Vista or Windows 7. More than that particular version should be there. And Visual Studio 10 and the phone SDK. You have to install that, as well as a Windows Phone 7 device to test with. So means here the support for a virtual device and all will take more time. Means separately you have to install and all, because of that particular thing. If you are having any Windows Phone 7 with you, so it's very easy to do hardware. So HTC, Nokia, and Samsung are currently manufacturing Windows Phone 7 devices. So device resolutions are 800 into 480 pixels, and most are outfitted with both front and rear facing cameras and screens from 4.3 to 4.7 inches. They are primarily found on GSM carriers. The devices, hardware, is what you need. So these are the requirements to develop a project or your own app in a Windows Phone 7. And I will tell once again the Windows you need, Visual Studio 2010 and phone SDK. These things are important. Coming to the next thing, Visual Studio and Windows Phone SDK. Code for the Windows Phone is written in the .NET framework, either with XNA, the Microsoft's runtime for a game development, or a custom version of Silverlight, which you can use Microsoft Rich Internet Application Framework. Either two things, means .NET framework with .NET framework, either with XNA or Silverlight as a combination, you can work. Means I didn't work on a .NET, I don't know anything, but I think already you have learned a .NET. Am I right? You learned a .NET?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
huh? You learned a .NET?
Yes.
In BCA, sir.
In your in your syllabus, .NET will comes. I think in a fourth sem. I think so. Right, in detail with project you will do there, and you can understand there how these things you can do. Otherwise, you can try now itself if you know the .NET framework. So the XNA you can install or Silverlight you can install with phone SDK. These packages. If you go to the Google and if you tell how to install what are the packages needed for the Windows Phone 7 app development, automatically it will comes. So then you can user interface are created with XAML extensionable application markup language XAML, and the Windows Phone SDK works with Visual Studio Express. That you have to keep in your mind. Installation. How you can do the installation of that. Microsoft's hub will be there. There you can go and you can start downloading the Windows Phone SDK. The Windows Phone SDK installer includes the following things. One package will be there that is Windows Phone SDK. Once if you go there and if you click, you can see all these packages. This is Visual Studio 2010 Express for a Windows Phone, especially for that it will be there. So you can, if you do not have another version of Visual Studio 2010 can be installed. So now Windows Phone emulator you can also be installed. Your RAM should be very fast. Means it should be very more than maybe according to me 4 GB or 8 GB. It's good. Windows Phone SDK assemblies you have to install, and Silverlight 4 SDK you have to install, and Phone SDK 7.1 extensions for XNA Game Studio. That also if you install. Then Expression Blend for Windows Phone 7, WCF Data Services Client for Windows Phone, and Microsoft advertising SDK. Any laptop, if you are purchased with Windows, easily you will have an account of MSDN or Microsoft account will be there. So easily you can log in and you can. So to install the Windows Phone SDK, you need what you need actually to say Windows Phones, Windows 7, x86 or X4 or Vista you can have in your particular Windows, and 4 GB of free disk space should be there, and 3 GB of RAM should be there. With another component is the DirectX 10 or above capable graphics card with WDDM11 drive, means almost all node. So all this 2G means graphic cards will all be okay. Whatever is there in your laptops, you can start installing. I think I have a doubt that either Windows 10 will support this or only Windows 7 and Vista will support that. Whenever I made this material and all, no, whenever I go the Google and I tried that how the installation can be done. Always the installation packages is there only for Windows 7 and Vista. But according to me, the later versions also it will support. I never tried installing this. If you want, you can once try installing these packages, at least installing these packages. If you try, then you can understand whether it supports higher versions or not. Otherwise, you have to go with only Vista or Windows 7. Getting to know Expression Blend. Now, Expression Blend is a user interface design tool developed by Microsoft with emphasis on a WYSWG design for XAML based projects, especially Silverlight and WPF. You can see in this particular figure how knows the blend user interface with the standard tools displayed in a Windows Phone 7 pivot applications. So this is a one which you can see now. This is a layout and same almost all it looks like how a project is there of yours. So you start doing this, means it's resembling your phone. first, second, and design 1, design 2, design 3, design 4, design 5. These are the tills which you can take one by one. As I told you, that pinning into that particular thing, you can go with my applications. So this is the one expression blend is a user interface design tool which you are going to use, that you have to keep in your mind. Coming to next thing, Windows Phone 7 project. Ultimately, a Windows Phone 7 project is similar to a Silverlight project. I think any of you has did the Silverlight project, means based on .NET, then automatically it will be similar, same like that web project. How will you do the in Silverlight? Resemblance will be same. So which is technically a subset of an WPF. So Silverlight hosts a Windows Phone 7. Silverlight contains a subset of APIs from the .NET framework, all optimized to run in a browser host so that it can be run cross-platform. The Windows Phone 7 SDK is a subset of that. So how you have to understand between Silverlight and Silverlight is like, I can say like this, it's in one like a server, means which is from .NET framework. It will be there after doing your project and all in a .NET framework. What you are going to do, you will deploy that using a Silverlight, like that you can take. So all optimized to run in a browser host. So almost all Silverlight, it will run in a browser host where it can be run in any platform like that. For example, if you have developed a web-based project using a .NET framework, even you can browse that using the Linux also. So these things you have to keep in your mind. So like that, how the Silverlight will act, it will act like an I can say like an Apache server. You know about an Apache server and all, and how Apache server will be there in a Linux for deploying a web-based projects and all. Silverlight will be like that. When now porting the third-party Silverlight libraries, you have to make sure they build against the Windows Phone 7 version of Silverlight. So you have to, when installing the libraries, you must be very careful that it is not a web-based one. Always it should be within a Windows Phone 7 version of a Silverlight. Because some of the APIs do not transfer from that particular thing. So you must be very careful that you should always go through the WP7, that is Windows Phone 7 version of Silverlight. Otherwise, while in package itself, Windows Phone 7 package, when you take from MS, not a problem. Your application, 1 minute. Yeah. Windows Phone 7 contains a fair amount of controls for your application, but they are not all inclusive. Multiple control toolkits have been released on CodePlex. You can see that in the following link. If you go and means if you have this particular link, then you can see how the different controls kits will be there, and you can download that particular control kits. Most of the companies that produce the control packages for WPF, that is Windows Phone thing and files, and Silverlight have the created Windows Phone 7 control packages as well. And Telerik, so this is another one products for a control thing or a component one, which you can use, and you can go to that particular link. All have pre-built and skinnable control packages for Windows Phone 7, ranging in a price from roughly $100 to $1,500. Different teams, hand-woven things, ready-made formats. Means ready-made formats will be there with a component and all. If you want to use that things and all, it will be of from $100 to $1,500. Anatomy of a Windows Phone 7 application. Anatomy, the structure, how it will be there for Windows Phone 7. Here also it resembles somewhat like an iOS, that is a storyboards. Storyboards are Silverlight's control type for managing animations in a code. They are defined in given pages of XAML and leveraged using a code behind. Uses for this animations are limited only by the transform operations you are allowed to perform on that particular objects. That is, I will redefine this. They are defined in a given pages already a control type. The storyboards are silver lights control types. Animations in a code is means the format will be there always. Just what you have to do, you have to leverage using a code behind that. Whatever a code is there, you have to use that particular code and you have to define your own objects for this. Animations are limited only by the transform operations you are allowed to perform on objects. Means passing in a values to the variables or your own variables, taking that means reshaping that you can do. Anytime you want to provide the user with a custom transition between your pages or element updates, you should consider creating an animation to smooth the user experience. Because storyboards are held in XAML, you can either edit them manually or use expression blitz editor. Either ways, you can manually taking an XAML code like in Android Studio. Designing you can do in a designing layout or XML code. You can go on there. You can write a XML code for buttons, components, whatever is there, basic views. You can manipulate. But same thing here also you can do like that. Manually you can do or using an expression blends. You can switch, you can switch, you can do this particular thing. In a blend in the objects and timeline span at the left, click the plus icon to create a storyboard. Whatever I have shown previously, there plus icon. If you click once, if you go back, you can see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, plus icon. If you click here, so automatically you can create a storyboard based on that. And then multiple views you want, or would be one view you want, depends on that. You can create. Now you can see how you can create a storyboard here. So if you tell so and so storyboard and it's okay, objects are and you can see the project here, and these are the different controllers which will be there and all. The packages, and based on that particular controllers the properties also will be there here. Same workspace as like the Android Studio, almost all resemblances will be there like this. Coming to the next, once you have a storyboard, you can add a keyframes on your timeline for each individual element you would like to perform a transformation on. That is, each view you can take or on each page you can take, and you can have your own individual elements on that, and what you want to do on that you can do. This can include moving objects and changing the properties also. Means like attribute properties will be there for each and every component. You can change that. After setting up your timeline, you can start the storyboard in code. The name you create for your storyboard will be accessible in code behind. So once whatever name you have given to your storyboard, the same classes means for all the activity 1, activity 2, activity 3 like that, it will come with that particular. Pivot versus panorama, which you can see the differences here. Pivot control will be like this, and panorama control will be like this. So both the pivot and panorama controls are used to delineate the categories and subsets of an data. With the pivot control, you get the strict isolation of these groupings. You can see the figure here. With the menu, providing a discoverable UI to show the other categories. Like this here, what is viewer application, first and second, like that horizontal view you can have here. In runtime 1 means for what is the first task it has to do, what is the second task it has to do. Same thing here, but the theme with the panorama control, you get the transitions between the groups with the discoverable content on the window boundaries. So these are the differences which is there between a pivot and a panorama designs. So the Windows Phone 7 emulators. So how emulator? The Windows Phone 7 emulator, as you're seeing in this particular figure, is very powerful tool. Not just a simulator. The emulator runs a completely sandbox virtual machine in order to better mimic the actual device. So whatever all the characteristics of an actual device is there, your simulator will have all the features like that. It also comes with some customization and runtime tools to manipulate the sensors that are being emulated on the device. Even some virtual sensors also you can use here, that is like accelerometer for a game and all, touching the screen like that. If your laptop is of touch screen like that. So including GPS and accelerometer, as well as provide a way to capture the screenshots while testing and developing the applications. So usually we'll use these two sensors more in almost all our applications. Now, building the Nearby app means your app in Windows Phone 7 distribution, creating a project. So you can select whichever you want the design, either panorama, pivot, application design you want or not. We are usually here when we are taking a screenshot of this, the panorama design, they have selected. Now, app.xaml is the entry point for your application. That is the one very important thing you should keep in your mind. There's the entry point. Then what's the next page? Very important. Main page.xaml is a page that loads by default always. From here, you will go to your different views or different functionalities. Application icon.ping is the default icon that is shown when pinned, and it is shown attached to the toast notifications. Means you have seen there how the runtime 1, runtime 2, runtime 3 like that. Splash screen image.jpg is a default image that shows when your app is loading, and panorama background.jpg is the default background created for panorama apps that you have seen in a last slide, how the background will be there. User interface. Now, the default panorama application defines its data context in XAML. The data context as first items bending associated by default. So expression bending you can use here, and you can bind the different associated default things in that. Default things will be there. Your own components also you can do. The panorama control can be likened to an collection-based UI element, and panorama items are the respective rows in that collection element. Before start using the service, you have to add the service references. That is, right-click the project, select and service references, and provide URL for your services. So this is the URL type which you have to provide. There's a name of whatever a name you are taken, and .svc that you have to include in references, especially there under URL. Now, once you create a service, you can start working with the panorama control to bind and the data available from this entity. So this is the way how the add services you have to do. And once if you select that, means the name, whatever is it, if you select that, you can tell, okay. After you have made this service, be sure to reference this entity context when your page needs to make calls to the services. This is a way which you can do for different services for to call your particular app. And thereby names, to bind data for your panorama item, you need to set the item's resources and text block bindings. Each individual entry in thereby names entity in OData, that you can see the figure. So these are the things. Each individual entries will be there, contains properties of that particular thing, and name and link, whatever is in which you will be bind to the text blocks in your panorama item. So after this, what you have to do? Now, coming to this particular thing there, now you can see how the view of that dollar panorama will be there. Thereby, this is the names what we are going to do, $3 bill, dollar bunny, dollar whatever is there twisted, and like this. These are the different functionalities. If you click on here, you will go further. So like this, which you can make. The entity of league is similar to the nearby names entity and will make it easy to bind from. So distribution, how you are going to do the distribution also. To distribute the applications in the in the app hub, you must create a developer account, and what is the developer account you have to create using this particular URL. If you're a student, it will be free. Make free paid or add funded app schemes. Submit unlimited paid apps to Windows Phone Marketplace. Submit up to 100 free apps to Windows Phone Marketplace. Additional submissions also you can do by paying. Expand your reach with the world wide distributions, and this one. Like this, you can the distribution of that particular app can be done. Submitting your application to the App Hub is a 5-step process. That is how you can submit that to the marketplace. That is, first you upload your compiled XAP file that you have to keep in your mind. To do this, you must have a unique name for your application. You must select either this application is being released to the public or simply being distributed to the app. That you have to decide. Next, you must provide an application description of the app, keywords and screenshots, whatever is there, detailed descriptions, languages support, and all. Third, you set up your price and select what markets you want to distribute your application. Next, you provide test information to that the developer in charge of proving your app understands the use cases. So for testing purpose, feedback purpose also, you can make an options. Finally, you choose your publishing options and you can then submit your applications for certification. And Microsoft will certify your application and then they will publish that. This account registration, how you can do, especially in a Microsoft market, means a hub. So what is the company and the individual, what type you want and terms used for app hub, how you are going to for this and all, you can see here. Then account time, sorry. Yeah, other useful Windows Phone things is this section covers persisting data locally, means how a data can be persisted in your apps, the different types of notifications you can use to interact with your users, the usage of the sensors of the device, and using external resources to improve the quality of your applications. That will be there. So that we'll discuss in a coming class, that is offline storage, how you can do, how notifications you can give in Windows Phone 7, and the things GPS how you can use for different locations and all. Accelerometer, this is done very much important sensor which will be used. So this ends your entire module. So in the next class, almost all we can complete that. I think the next Monday is not there, Tuesday, next Wednesday, I think we can complete this particular uh, syllabus. Right. So tomorrow, as if I have told you that we'll go for the activity class. I'll try for that. So activity class will go and we'll see the activity there, and later on we'll finalize this particular thing. Any now the session is open for questions. Any questions is there? You can ask. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Kishan.
Can I ask about the project, sir? Something?
Huh?
About project, something, sir.
Project ಬಗ್ಗೆನಾ?
Sir. ಕೇಳೋಣ.
ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. Project ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. Any class doubt is there on Windows Phone 7? You can ask now. I think no. Right. Now we'll step on to the next thing in our agenda, that is about your marks. Then afterwards we'll come to your project where we'll discuss at that particular thing. First we'll go with the marks. First I'll log in my account. 1 minute. Yeah. I'll share first entire screen. Before going for that marks details, Manoj is there in class. Manoj, Manoj, ಇಲ್ವಾ Manoj, ಇಲ್ಲ Yeah, you can see your marks here. Any doubt, anything is there, you can ask me. I will keep on telling the marks. Anaga 27, Abhilash 28, Akhil 24, Akrut 28, Anusha 31, Aravind is not there, absent. Arifullah 29, Benaka ನೀನು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿದೆಯಾ ಓದ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ 31 ಹಾ
ಹಾಗೇನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Banu Prakash 32, Bhargav 34, Rahmatullah 33, Chaitra AC 33, Chandana C 31, Charan Kumar Reddy 34, Darshan 30, Diksha 30, Dakshayani 30, Kishan 31, Arshit 24, Hemalata 34, Uma 34, Jayant 29, Divya 32, Kaushik 27, Lakshmi 33, Lavanya 37, Manish 34, Manoj 30, Mohit 32, Naval 31, Navya 34, Nikhil 32, Panindra 30, Pawan 29, Pooja 28, Purnima 31, Raman, क्या हुआ तुझे 31
यस सर.
पढ़ना छोड़ दिया
नहीं सर.
रश्मि 24, रूपक 33, साई कुमार 33, समीर 29, संतोष. I'm having a doubt, Santosh. I have not corrected your paper. Santosh is there? ಸಂತೋಷ್
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ನೀನು
ಸರ್
ನೀನೇ ಬರ್ತಿದೀಯಾ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು ನೀನು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಬರ್ದಿರೋದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಪೇಜ್ಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ಬೇರೆ ಪೇಜ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದನ್ನ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಬುಕ್ಲೆಟ್ ಇದೆ.
ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಿನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಎರಡೆರಡು ಕಾಲಮ್ ವೈಸ್ ಎರಡೆರಡು ಶೀಟ್ ವೈಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸರ್
ನಿನಗೆ ತೋರಿಸ್ಲಾ ನಿನ್ ಪೇಪರ್? ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್,
ನೋಡು, ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಾ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಓಕೆ. ಇದು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ಯಾ ಪೈಜಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೇನಿದು?
ಸರ್ 2 pages ಇದು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಏ ಮಾರಾಯ, ಇದು ನೀನು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಇಮೇಜ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ವಿಡಿಯೋಲ್ಲೇ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಬುಕ್ಲೆಟ್.
ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ ಮತ್ತೆ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸರ್ ಇದು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸರ್.
ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, 2 ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ?
2 ಕಾಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ,
ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು?
2 pages ಸರ್. ಇದು
ಏನ್ 2 ಪೇಜ್ ಇದೆ
ಸರ್? ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ 1 page, ರೈಟ್ 1 page ಸೆಪರೇಟ್.
ಯಾಕೆ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ
ಸರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಫುಲ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಇಂದು ಆ ತರ. I am having the booklet also sir, physical booklet here only. I can show you video. Same thing I have written.
ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಹಿಂಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ? ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಒಂಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಒಂಥರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸರ್, ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಒಂದೇ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಟೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಪೇಜ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ.
ಯಾಕೆ ಹಂಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡೆ? ಈಗ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ನಾನು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಒಂಥರ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ. ನೋಡು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಒಂಥರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಹೌದು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ರೈಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ 2 pages ಇದು ಇತ್ತು ಸರ್, ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್
ಯಾಕೆ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ?
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್,
ಸರಿ ಆಯ್ತು, ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ ಸರ್, ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಬುಕ್ಲೆಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. whatever there is, that only I have scanned sir here.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ, ಓಕೆ,
thank you sir.
ಓಕೆ. ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ, ಐ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ನಿಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಶತಾಬ್ 31, ಶರಣ್ 32, ಶಶಾಂಕ್ 31, ಶೀತಲ್ 34, ಶೀತಲ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಶಿವಾನಿ 33, ಸೌಮ್ಯಶ್ರೀ 31, ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ 28, yeah correct, Sri Vishnu 27, Sugandhini 33, Sushma 32, Sushmita BS 33, Sushmita U 30, Tirtha 31, Trupti 30, Varsha 31, Veena 26. Any doubts is there in your marks? I think I'm not satisfied with your marks. ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೋಡ್ ಬರೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒದ್ಲಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ? What is your this one? See, in your you observe your textbook, everyone I am telling, code is there, pa. You have to write. There is no other option. ಕೋಡ್ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ ಕೋಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಇನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. In exam, maybe in exam, somebody will ask you like that. Anyway, textbook is having a code, especially for second model, third and fourth model. You must be like a developer. So definitely they will ask you a code questions only, almost all in my knowledge. So that's way in a first test I've given theoretical oriented questions. Now I'm asking asked here the programmatic questions. But you are not at all for everyone. I'm telling. I'm not satisfied while corrected you. Somebody has written okay, hmm, not in that depth. For example, I can say one text view, one button, and label if you take. So rather than XML, main activity is very much important. So almost all. I expected a lot for question number 8, but that also. Hmm, ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
Sir, actually time management is the problem, sir.
ಏನಪ್ಪ?
Time sir, ಅದು 1.5 hour ಅಷ್ಟು ಬರೆಯಕ್ actually.
ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ತಿದೆ ಟೈಮು. ಅದೇನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡೋದೇನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಹಾ ಸರ್, ಬಟ್ GCR ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡೆಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲೇ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ. ಸೊ
ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋನು ನಾನಲ್ವಾ? ಡೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ರಿಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡಬಲ್ ಇದು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಕನ್ವೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. See, that things and all is very small matters according to me. ನನಗೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಓಕೆ, ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತಾರಪ್ಪ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅವರು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಐ ಟೆಲ್ ಯು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಲ್ತಂಗಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಭಯ ಬರ್ಲಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಲೈಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್. ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ತೆಗೆದಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ತೆಗೆದಿರ್ತೀರಾ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಾವು ಫುಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಗೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನೀವು? ನಿಮ್ ತಲೆಯಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೀರಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ತೆಗೀರಿ. ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೋ? ಈಗ 24, 26 ಬಂದಿರೋರ್ಗೆ ಈ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್. ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಐ ಅಗ್ರಿ. ಹೇಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್? ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ತೋರಿಸಿದಾಗ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ನಾನು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವೆರಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆನ್ಸರಬಲ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ನೀವು ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬಾಧೆ ಬಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ 3-4 ಲೈನ್ ಬರೀತೀರಾ, ಬರೆಯೋಕೆ ಆಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದು ಓದೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನಾಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಫುಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ 20 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅದು ನನ್ನ ಕೈಲಿರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ನೌ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್. ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗ, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಇಂಥ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಾಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ನಾಳೆ ದಿನ ನಿಮ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ MCA ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಪಿಕಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇಂಥ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ, ಮನೀಶ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ, ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನ್ಗೆ ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ. ಜನ ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಮಾತಾಡಿ. You speak on. What I'm telling you, no, like no exams means you should score now. You should calculate now itself. First test is so much, second test is so much. What third test I have to score? What second test I have to score? So I want, for example, I will tell you more than 8.5 or 8.6. I want. So what are the things I should make? Everything will be there in our teacher science. Why can't I score? Correct? No. You people don't have that mind, I think. This you should make it as an opportunity for your entire MCA growth percentage. It's left to you people then. Third test ಆದ್ರೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋರು ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ನಾವು. ಮಾತಾಡಿ
ಸರ್ ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗೈತೆ.
ಅಖಿಲ್
ಹೌದು
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ ನಿಂಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಂದಿದೆಯಾ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್?
24 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್?
ಅಖಿಲ್ 24. ನೀನು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6 ಏನು ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಕಣ. ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6 ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 7 ಎರಡೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನು. ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದು ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇವೆರಡೂ ನೀನೇನು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 6ಗೆ. ನೋಡ್ತೀಯಾ ನೀನ್ ಪೇಪರ್?
ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು.
ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ನಂದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ.
ಏನಪ್ಪಾ? ನಿನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ, ನಾನೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಸರಿನಾ? ಸರಿ. ಇನ್ಯಾರ್ದಿದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? ಇನ್ಯಾರ್ದಿದೆ? ಹೇಳಿ, ಇನ್ಯಾರ್ದಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So now marks thing has been over, right? Now we'll back here with your project thing. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಬರೀ 37? ಮಿಗ್ದವರು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ? ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ? ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ 37 ಆಗತ್ತಾ? 37 ಆಗಕ್ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ವೇ? ಮತ್ತೆ 50 ಟೋಟಲ್ ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇರೋದು? 57 ಅಲ್ವಾ? 28 ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು
ಸರ್. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ನಾವು 2 ಜನ ಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
ನೀವಿಬ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅನಗ? ನೀವ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಅನಗ? ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ?
ಇವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಬೇಗ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅದು ಡಬಲ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೈಫರ್ಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಹಂಗೆ? ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ನೀವು ಮಾಡಿ, ನಾನು ಈ ಬೈಫರ್ಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಹಾಕಿದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇವಾಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಒನ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸಿನಾಪ್ಸಿಸ್ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಷನ್ ಸೆಷನ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ಎವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಸರಿನಾ? ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್.
ರೈಟ್. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? ನಾವು ಕಿಶನ್
ಎಸ್ ಸರ್. ನಾವು ಫ್ಲಟರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ತಾನೆ ಸರ್?
ಯಾವುದು
ಫ್ಲಟರ್
ಅಂದ್ರೆ?
ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಸರ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಆಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋ ಅಲ್ಲೇ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ
ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದಟ್. ನನಗೆ ಆಂಡ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋ ಬಟ್ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಾಡಿ, ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್, ಅದು ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡು. ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ತಿದಾರಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ತುಂಬಾ.
ಓಕೆ, you can use. I want finally output objective. If you are learning new things, it's good enough, not an issues.
Okay sir.
Yeah. Any others? Right. Now I'll stop this sharing. Answer your attendance. Only one nimisha. Anaga,
Yes, sir.
2,
Yes, sir.
3, 3,
Sir.
4,
Yes, sir.
6,
Yes, sir.
7, 7, absent. 8, 8, absent. 9,
Present, sir.
10,
Yes, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
present are 10,
10
11, 11,
Yes, sir.
12, 12,
He's put in chat.
huh?
He's put in chat, sir.
12, 13,
Present, sir.
14,
Present, sir.
15,
Yes, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Present, sir.
18,
Yes, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23,
Present, sir.
24,
Yes, sir.
25,
Present, sir.
26,
Sir, she has mic issues, sir.
27,
Present, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29, 29, I repeat 29, absent. 30,
Present, sir.
31,
Present, sir.
32,
Present, sir.
33, 34,
Present, sir.
35,
Yes, sir.
36,
Present, sir.
37,
Yes, sir.
38,
Yes, sir.
39,
Present, sir.
40,
Yes, sir.
41,
Present, sir.
42,
Present, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44,
Present, sir.
45,
Present, sir.
46,
Present, sir.
47,
Present, sir.
48,
Present, sir.
49, ಯಾರಿದು
Soumya, sir.
ಯಾಕೆ ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ 34 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಗೆ 28 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಸಲ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ಗೂ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ HOD ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. HOD ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾರೆ ತಾನೆ? ಹೇಳಿದಾರಾ? 50 absent. 51
Present, sir.
52
Sir, she has put in chat box.
53
Present, sir.
54
Present, sir.
55
Present, sir.
56
Present, sir.
57
Present, sir.
58
Present, sir.
59 59 Meena ಇಲ್ಲ absent. Right.
10 present, sir.
ಏನ?
10 present.
ಯಾರು?
ಭಾನುಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಸರ್.
ಭಾನುಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಕಿಲ್ವಾ? ಭಾನುಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನ. ಓಕೆ. ಆರಿಫುಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಇವಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. Okay. So I'll stop recording.